A long time ago, in the small city of Athens, there was a skillful worker named Daedalus that had been known for so long. He taught people to build better houses. He built a stone palace for Icarus, the young king of Athens, and renovated the temple of Athena, which stood on the great rocky hill in the middle of the sea. Daedalus had a nephew named Perdex, whom he had taken as a boy to be his apprentice. But Perdex was a very quick learner and soon surpassed him for many things about the fields and the woods for his eyes, until he created his own innovations that makes Daedalus looking by him unpleasant.
He keeps on his way. He will be greater man than me. His name will remember, and mine will forgotten.
Day after day, while at his work, Daedalus reflected over this matter until his heart was filled with hatred towards young Perdex.
I must do something to get rid of Perdex. I will do anything. My name will forgotten forever.
One morning, when the two were putting up a decoration on the outer wall of Athena's temple that stood in the rocky cliffs, Daedalus began his plan.
Perdex, go out and put the stone in the wall.
Perdex obeyed his uncle, but when he's in the edge of the rocky cliff, he mistakenly stepped the broken stone that led him to fall down the air and landed upon the stone.
The day passed by, but the people of Athens heard of his appalling deed. They were filled with grief and rage, grief for young Perdex, whom all had learned to love, and rage towards the immoral uncle, who loved only himself. At first, they wanted to punish Daedalus with death, which he so richly deserved, but when they remembered what he had done to make their homes nicer and their lives easier, they allowed him to live, but expelled him from Athens. Therefore, Daedalus traveled with his son Icarus and all his things through the ship in harbor across the sea, and went in the famous island of Crete and made himself known.
As the years passed by, King Minos of the island of Crete heard about the extraordinary skills of Daedalus. Therefore, he commanded his people to welcome Daedalus.
Welcome to my palace, the known of an extraordinary skills from Athens, Daedalus. It's an honor for me and to my son to welcome here, King Minos. Come, both of you, and take a seat. Yes, King Minos. I welcome you here to let you know. I want you to give a reward with great riches and honor. But stay and practice your craft here in my island, like how you did in Athens. It's an honor for us, King Minos. I will stay and practice my craft in the island.
The family of King Minos was the richest of foreign land, so it was not hard for him to persuade Daedalus to make his home with him and be the chief of his artisans. Therefore, Daedalus built for King Minos the most wonderful palace with floors of marble and pillars of granite. For luxury and beauty, there was no other building in all the wide earth that could be compared with it. In the famous island of Crete, King Minos was required by Poseidon to sacrifice a white bull every year in honor of Europa's founding of Crete. But this year, King Minos decided to keep the bull instead. That makes Poseidon extremely angry. So instead of punishing Minos, he decided to course Minos' wife Pasiphae with a very strange course, which is to fall in love with the bull. Therefore, one day, Pasiphae begged Daedalus to come up with a way for her to consummate her love with the bull.
Daedalus, Please help me to make a baby with a bull I love.
Daedalus helped Pasiphae to make love with a bull that led her to pregnant. Pasiphae told King Menos what Daedalus had done. At first, King Menos wants to punish him, but he had wished for him to build another buildings, so he would not do it. And one of those additional buildings that Menos needed to build was for his own son, the Minotaur, a terrible monster with a body of a man, but the face and head of a wild bull, and the fears of nature of a mountain lion. He was the terrible of all the land, whose roars shocked the whole kingdom, and almost every day some man, woman, or child was caught and eaten by him.
This monster is your doings, but I cannot kill my son. But his destruction will kill everyone. We'll build a house for him then. You will keep him as a prisoner. But he may die if he trapped up in prison. He has a plenty of rooms to walk about.
So the wonderful artisan brought together his workers to the city of Knossos, and they built an impressive house with so many rooms called Labyrinth, where no one who went far into it could ever find his way out again. Daedalus cleverly persuaded the Minotaur to go inside of it. That makes the monster soon lost his way among the twisting and curving holes. But the sounds of his terrible roars could be heard day and night, as he wandered back and forth, vainly trying to find some way to escape.
Until now, I've honored and rewarded you for your skills. But you betrayed me and my wife. So now, you will become my slave and serve me without praise and words.
Then he gave orders to the guards at the city gates that they should not let Daedalus live at any. In the prisoner, Daedalus spent his time in planning how he might regain his freedom together with his son.
Up until now, all my intention has been made to please other people. And now, I will invent something to please myself.
All through the day, Daedalus pretended to be planning some great work for the king, but every night he locked up himself in his room and secretly had made for himself a pair of strong wings, and for Icarus another pair of smaller ones. Early one morning, before King Menos had gotten from the bed, they fastly fly their wings away from the island of Crete and turned from the west in the island of Sicily, where Daedalus wants to build a home. Towards noon, the sun shone very warm, and Daedalus called out to the boy, who was a little behind, and told him to keep his wings cool and not fly too high.
Icarus, make your wings cool and do not fly high.
In a rate, I will go up into little higher.
So he flew up higher and higher, but the father who was in front did not see him. Pretty soon, the heat of the sun began to melt the wax with which the boy's wings were attached. The felt himself falling through the air. The wings had become loosened from his shoulders. "Father, help!" Daedalus turned just in time to see Icarus fall headlong into the waves, reminiscent of the way he saw Perdix falling. The water was very deep there, and the skill of the wonderful artisan could not save the child. He only looked with mournful eyes at the unforgiving sea, and fly on alone to distant Sicily. There men say he lived for many years, but he never did any great work, nor built any half as remarkable as the labyrinth of Crete. And the sea in which poor Icarus drowned was called forever afterward by his name, the Icarian Sea.